So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now in this video we're going to be going after all three mission wolves here on Cuatro Colinas. Now two of the wolves are part of the main story and one is part of a set of side missions. So we're going to go after the two that are part of the main story first and then we'll go after the one that is part of the side missions. Now, the reason I decided to do this is because I've never actually harvested all three of the mission wolves from Cuatro. I've only ever harvested the two that are part of the main story, and seeing as I have this new fresh save, I obviously haven't got any of the missions done on this fresh save, so I figured this would be an ideal opportunity to actually go through and harvest all three of the wolves basically in one day. And it actually ended up being a lot of fun, and I ended up earning a couple of nice rare achievements for Call of the Wild at the same time. So just put a shot through the shoulder there on this legendary Phantasma Wolf. Now this one does end up being a diamond. I think it's always a diamond, and you can see 39.24 legendary Phantasma Wolf. Now this wolf is really gorgeous looking. I absolutely love the Phantasma Wolf. Now normally I'm not one who's actually fussed about going after animals that are part of the story missions, but I really like what they did with Cuatro and the story of the three wolves, and I just thought this would be a lot of fun to actually go back and do, because like I said, I've only ever harvested the two, and it's been a long time since I actually have done the Cuatro missions, so I figured this would be some fun to do, seeing as I have this completely fresh save where I haven't done any of the missions. Now you can see here the shot that I always go for on aggressive wolves. I will always move slightly off to the side and then aim for the shoulder, and it will go straight through back to the lung if you're using something like the 308, and that's the shot I always go for on an aggressive wolf. It always works pretty well for me. You just make sure that they're standing still like that, then aim for that shoulder, and it will go straight through back into the lung, and it always works out pretty well for me. So that worked pretty well for the Phantasma Wolf, and it is an absolutely beautiful specimen, and yeah, I'm super happy to actually get this one down again. I really like what they did, giving the three wolves actually unique skins. I think that's pretty cool. But the Phantasma I think is probably my least favourite of the three, just because it is, I'd say, the most plain, but still definitely a very cool looking wolf, and I will tax it. I'd like to do, I think, a mission animal trophy lodge at some point. Kind of wish we had a lodge that just was for the mission animals, but yeah, I'll have to try it and maybe do a mission animals lodge at some point. Now, moving on to the second wolf, and this one is actually my favourite out of the two story mission ones, because this lead up through this tunnel, I remember the first time I did this, I thought this was so cool and so creepy. It's really awesome what they did with this approach to the wolf, and honestly I think Cuatro has some of the best story because of how they actually set it all up like this. It's really cool. Now, something quite unfortunate happened here. You can see that this wolf is actually bugged fleeing. Now this is the Ogro Wolf, the monster wolf, and he is such a cool looking wolf. The fur is absolutely beautiful, but you have the blood around the muzzle and it just looks really epic. This is what I'd like to see for like a Great One wolf, something like this but maybe a bit more dramatic. So I always thought that this one was just super cool to actually see. Actually having like that really unique feature of having the blood on the muzzle, that's something you don't see outside of the missions. So yeah, I really like this particular wolf, but unfortunately he was just bugged in place. He is supposed to go aggressive, the same as the Phantasma, so that was unfortunate, but meant that I could get a couple of nice pictures of this really beautiful wolf. Now, like I said, if they ever did a Wolf Great One, I think this would be quite a good starting point, the Ogro Iberian Wolf. It's just such a cool looking model. If they gave like either a Grey Wolf or an Iberian Wolf a unique fur, but then have like blood and scars around the muzzle and the face, I think that's cool. I think the idea of a man-eating wolf for a Great One would be really awesome. And that was what I was thinking the whole time I was actually doing this mission, is how cool this would be as a base for a Great One. Just because it does look so unique with the blood around the muzzle, I think it's just pretty awesome to actually see. And like I said, the actual fur on this model as well looks really beautiful. And if the Iberian Wolves got a rework, which I hope that they do at some point, because they do look kind of goofy in the face, and I think it would be really nice to see them get a bit more of a sort of realistic look to them. But if they could sort of improve the fur texture as well, I'm just imagining how beautiful these guys would look, because the fur on this one just looks so beautiful with all those colours. I think it would be absolutely fantastic. And of course, if they did improve the models, I can only imagine what the actual detail of that, the blood and the scars on the muzzle would actually look like. I think that could be really cool to see on a reworked animal. But either way, just a really cool mission animal. Like I said, the whole lead up through that dark tunnel where you can hear it growling and snarling, I think is pretty awesome. And the very first time, like I said, that I actually did that mission, it was kind of like, oh wow, this is a bit different to some of the other story missions. That one actually sort of made the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. That was actually kind of creepy and cool, and I really liked that. But moving on to the final mission now, and we are going to take down the Sombra Wolf. Now, to get this wolf, you actually have to do a set of side missions for Barden, but the Barden side missions are incredibly easy. It really didn't take me very long to do them at all. They are really simple missions, and this is a super cool reward for actually doing a set of side missions. This is awesome. So this is the wolf that I had never actually seen in game before. I'd only ever seen screenshots of it, and the first thing I noticed, which I'd never noticed in the screenshots, is the colour of the eyes. It looks incredible, just this pure black wolf with those absolutely gorgeous eyes. Absolutely incredible. And it is a legendary, it is a diamond, 39.34. Now I think this one is the same as the Phantasma and should always be a diamond if you shoot it correctly. The Ogro can be sort of any level, it can be the smallest possible or it can be a legendary. So you kind of have, you know, the one guaranteed diamond, then one that can be any level, and then this one in the side missions is another guaranteed diamond as far as I know. But just look at those eyes. That is just amazing. Now, talking about how cool the Ogro Wolf would be as like a Great One base, imagine this as a Great One base, because this even has like blood on the chest from where it killed Barden, which is just amazing. It is so cool. I can't believe that I never actually gone after this wolf. Just absolutely stunning. Imagine like a Great One Wolf just like this, maybe with some more of the blood on the muzzle like the Ogro, and make it like bigger than a normal wolf, and maybe it only does show up at night like this one. I think that would be really incredible. Something about this mission I just absolutely loved. It was just awesome. And I think the Cuatro Colinas missions actually do have some of the coolest missions in general, but also the coolest mission animals. I think the 3 wolves really are pretty awesome, and I'm very pleased that I actually made the decision to go after all of them and get them in sort of a quick succession. I managed to do it all within a few hours, and yeah, it was definitely worth it to actually finally get all 3 of them down. Just a super cool looking wolf. I was just really stunned by how beautiful this model actually is. It's just gorgeous looking. And yeah, I really hope that when we do see Great One wolves and stuff like that, that we see stuff like they did for these story mission wolves. I think it would be fantastic. And even for things like maybe a Great One fox or a Great One coyote, make them really cool like this. Maybe, you know, super aggressive, give them like unique eye colours. I know they've done that with the Great One moose. Just make them really special like they did with these mission wolves, because yeah, I think it's pretty darn awesome. And you can see there I got a couple of nice rare achievements. I got Hubris for completing the Barden side missions, and Shady Dealings for actually harvesting all 3 of the mission wolves. So that was really cool to get a couple of rare achievements as well. A couple of achievements I've never gotten, so super happy about that. And got to harvest all 3 of the wolves. Like I said, that is really awesome. And getting to see the Sombra in game, in person, it was a lot cooler than I expected. Like I said, actually seeing the blood and that on the ground from where it had killed Barden, yeah, pretty awesome. But that is going to be it for this video, so thank you so much for watching and for all your support as always. Really hope you enjoyed this one. It was something a little bit different for me. Like I said, I normally don't really focus on missions or going after mission animals, but I'd seen a couple of posts about this Sombra Wolf and decided that this would be something fun to do, and yeah, it definitely was. And if you want to get a couple couple of trophy wolves, then definitely go and do the Cuatro missions. Like I said, the Phantasma and the Ogro are part of the main story, so just do the main story missions and you will get through to actually getting the wolves. Phantasma's about halfway through and the Ogro's towards the very, very end. And then the Barden side missions to actually get the Sombra, which is the one at the very end in this video. But once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.